YouTube, and welcome to the 5th part tutorial of how to model the microwave. Now this is a remake for this tutorial. I had a problem with the earlier version of this part. I just forgot to set it to be exported as 1080 pixels resolution, and this is why I'm remaking this. Well, it's okay because I have a few other things that I also wanted to add it at this part, but somehow I didn't have the chance for it. So now we can redo it. Okay, so the first thing to do here is to take this door away from here. Okay. Together with all the parts of it, okay? And I'm going to show you something. I will create a sphere, and as most of you probably seen this part of the tutorial. Sorry, I have some kind of background noise. I will just get rid of them and get back. Okay, so I got it back, and what I wanted to show you is something about the selection tool, and I will have to bring in my virtual keyboard here. So let's say this is my physical keyboard, but this is actually my virtual keyboard. So whenever I want to select something using the expand function, I have to rely on center face in order to work with this expanding option. So I will show you in a second what I mean. I'm going to take this vertex here in the middle, okay? And while I'm holding the shift, right click, choosing chamfer vertex, it will create from this vertex point, it will actually break it to the number of these vertices here on this circle, and basically create another circle here from it, okay? And will give you a center face, okay? And you can do this chamfer vertex in any vertex you like, but this is not what I intended to show you. So let's say I'm going to select this face, and following this face I want to expand my selection over these faces, and these faces, and so on. So what I'm going to do is hold down the shift, and you see on your physical keyboard you have these two arrows to right and left, okay? So if I will hold down the shift and click on one of them, it will expand my selection using this face as a middle. So if I will add another shift and this together, it will basically expand. And if I will do it with this arrow, it will reduce the selection. So I wanted to show you this only because I'm going to use it on over inside my microwave parts. So if you followed my tutorial, my earlier parts, and you get something like this, like same numbers of faces here, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you know, so on for those. So basically those two faces here, okay, representing the middle of this structure here inside this the interior of this microwave. So I'm going to hold down the shift and use the same keys in order to expand my selection. So you see what's happening? At first it's choosing only those, but basically there are you see those little faces here that you can see them, and it's also selected them. So I'm going to expand more and more and more, and a few times, you know, just repeating the same function until I will get over these faces here, okay? Okay, so now I just want to make sure that everything is selected, and what I'm going to do here is go over Edit Mesh, okay? If you first make sure you add the Polygons tab here, go over Edit Mesh, make sure Keep Faces Together is assigned with V, okay? And then go over Mesh and extract this. Now, after we extract it, we have basically now two parts. This one, by the way, press F8 3 times to snap out of this function, okay? So I have two parts for the microwave right now, okay, these, and I want this part to be smooth, okay, but I want this part here to stay the same because I want these nets here in the inside the interior to be smoothed, but I don't want them to I don't want to patch them to this area here. So if I will smooth these and these together, I want to get the same result that I like. I prefer these to be more hard edges inside the interior and the overall microwave to be smooth. Okay, so basically I'm going to grab first the interior part here. I'm going to right click, choose edge, double click on this middle edge, which is the corner. Okay, double click, it will select everything until the corner there. I will zoom in here and double click, shift double click on this one, shift double click on this one. So basically I've selected all those all the way up and all the way to the left. I'm going to do the same up here. So it doesn't matter, just select one of these edges at the corner. These, this one or this one or this one. Just press shift and hold it and double click on one of those. Okay, this is how it goes. So you do this also for this corner there, and we will have to repeat also over here, do the same. Okay, so that way. Now we need to pick here, shift double click this one and shift double click. Okay, I will zoom in, double click this one. Okay, after I selected all of them together, hold on the shift, right click, choose bevel edge, and then you will get immediately this attribute editor for the poly bevel option that you just added to these edges, and then you can play a little bit with the offset if you need. I just want to have some beveled edges here, and I think that this is okay as for default settings. Okay, press F8 to bring it back to object mode. Now here, if you remember, we created two faces. Okay, we have this one and we have the one inside. I will just bring them outside for a second, and I'm going to smooth these this microwave by pressing 3. Okay, so this is what's happening here. See here, this area is becoming rounded here, so I will press 1 to exit this smooth preview, and I'm going to add 4 more edge loops. So hold on the shift, right click, insert edge loop. I will add one edge loop here and one edge loop there. Okay, let's press 3 to see this. Okay, so now it's rounded, but still we have those faces here which doesn't look really good. So maybe, just maybe, I will add these here. I have these faces here, which maybe these are the cause of this. Okay, so I will have to use them like that. Let's press 3. Still getting those faces there. So I will add one edge loop here, one more edge loop here, one more edge loop here, and maybe one more here. Okay, let's press 3. Sorry, this one unneeded, so let's press 3, and now it looks better. Okay, so now I want to add some light setup and texture. So what I've done, I added 2 files, 2 or 3 links, sorry, to the description of this tutorial, and we are going to use them. So basically what we have there is, if I'll just open my Finder and my desktop, you will have 2 links for let's see, for files that look like this. Okay, so this is an HDR. Sorry. Okay, this is an HDR picture file. Okay, and what's beautiful about this that it's not a regular HDRI map picture. Okay, sorry for a second. Okay, sorry again, some neighbors. So we have this picture, and as I mentioned, this is not a regular HDRI map picture. It's a special picture that is HDR, and basically they have been created in some kind of app that named as HDR Studio. So basically this app, you can build your own kind of custom HDRI pictures for using Maya or any other 3D software. So you have this, and what we are going to do, we are going to create image-based lighting stuff. So I'm going to go over Window, Setting Preferences, Plugin Manager, and just to make sure that we have the Maya2mr.bundle checked, loaded, and auto-load. For Windows users, it should be Maya2mr.mll, I think. Okay, mel, M-E-L, or MLL. Whatever. This is it's just a little bit different in Mac and for Windows users. So after you make sure both are ticked, close this, and then you can come over this icon here, click on it. Okay, it says display render settings, so click on it, and then you can choose from render using the mental ray. Okay, after you've done so, the first thing I want to do is go over render options and uncheck the enable default light. Okay, then come over here to the preset, image size preset, and choose your your resolution for your picture that you are going to render. Now for test renders, I prefer to keep it on something low. So in my 2014 they added this HD 540 pixels, okay, but you can use 640 on top of 480 or any other thing. It really depends on your machine and how fast it's doing it. If it's only for test renders, make sure it's low resolution, and let's keep moving. Go over quality. Make sure it's 3. Okay, 3 it's high, and you can also bring it to 1 just for test renders. Okay, but at the final result you may want to bring it back to 3. And ray tracing, make sure you have some ray tracing, so 4 on top of 4 on top of 8, it's fine. And reflection blur limit, I'll keep this that way. Okay, also for now that's okay, and let's go over indirect lighting. And here is the environment section. Okay, now you have in the environment two things. You have image-based lighting and you have the physical sun and sky. We are going to use the image-based lighting, which used this HDRI picture that I earlier showed you. What happened when I'm clicking on this create, okay, I will click on it. So in your scene you will get this sphere here. Okay, this sphere, we are going to attach to it this picture that I showed you, this picture. Okay, so how you do it, after you apply this, you click create, you grab this, and you will have here in the attribute editor this folder. Okay, image name and this folder. Click on this folder and navigate to your file. Now download it to somewhere comfort that you can it's accessible, and just pick this picture. So let's say I have this one, and I also have, oh, where is it? No, what was the name for this? No. Okay, let's say I will use this one. Okay, I prefer this one instead of the other one, but still, both are good. Yeah, this is the fluorescent, so I'll apply this. Okay, so now we have this HDR map. Now, what's happening in here is that the HDRI map, it's actually some kind of light, okay? Now, everything that comes from the global light inside the through this sphere, okay, you see here, is reflecting on your objects in the middle of this scene, okay? So basically, you will see reflections of this light on top of your objects. So it's just a quick explanation for you. Now, we want to add, you know, some kind of a background for this microwave. So we are going to go over Create, Civic Curve Tool, and switch immediately to the 4 view with this icon here. You can also tap the spacebar and do this. And then put your mouse cursor over the side view, hit the spacebar, it will expand it. And we are going to draw a line using the Civic Curve Tool. Okay, we are still using the Civic Curve Tool. If you don't see this target on your mouse cursor, then you probably snapped out of this tool. So go over Create again and Civic Curve Tool. And I'm going to look at this microwave from the side and click here, somewhere here, start here, okay? Click one dot here, another click here, and all the way almost over here. Now here, where it's the grid line, okay, this red, right now it's red, I'm not sure why, but maybe it's because of the image-based lighting sphere, but I'm going to add another one here, so it will get band here in this area, and then another point here, and following this grid line I will add few more extra dots, and after I'm done I will press enter and hit the spacebar again to snap back to 4 view, and again to put your mouse cursor over the perspective view and hit the spacebar. So you will get to see this line we just drew. Okay, I will bring it over here, this line, and I want it to be here, and Control D to duplicate it, or Shift D to duplicate it. Bring the other one over here, grab both of them using the Shift, go over Polygon, Surfaces, okay, Surfaces here. From the Surfaces menu, choose Loft, okay? This will create this background kind of plane here, okay? Now switch to the Move tool, and you can just stretch it so you will have enough coverage of this, and that should be enough. It's more than it should be. Maybe I will make it a little shorter. Right click on it, choose Control Vertices, and I want to pull these vertices here, okay, all these, and use the Move tool and stretch them over that way. So we have enough coverage there. Also maybe for the upper ones it's good, so Control Vertices, we will look at this that way, okay, that way, and just bring those up, okay. So now we have enough background there, and that's good. The only thing we left to do is go back to 4 view and maybe grab all the pieces together of this microwave except this plane and bring them just above the grid, maybe a little bit upper, okay, because we are going to add legs here for this some kind of stand, so it won't lay directly on the surface. Okay, so now, as we mentioned, this part is going to be smoothed, so press 3 to smooth this. This one is going to be unsmoothed, so press 1, make sure it's unsmoothed. But these nets here should be smooth, so press 3 to smooth them. And don't worry about the minor issue of this overlapping stuff here. Just make sure it's covering everything here, and that's fine. Okay, and now we will have to build some shaders to it, okay? So, the first thing I want to add shader or texture to it is this plane here. Right click, choose Assign Favorite Material, choose Blend, and from this color here, make sure you slide it all the way to black, okay, that way, and that's all. Here at the blend material, see blend 2, I want you to change the name and call this background BG shader, okay, and just so we will know what this is, what this shader is, okay. Then I want you to grab the microwave material here, okay, and also, sorry, the microwave parts, and this part, okay, the door, only the door itself, not the windows inside, and the microwave. Right click on top of them, assign new material here. Now, just one more thing before I continue. I'm using Maya 2014, okay. In Maya 2014, when you click assign new material, it's not like in the earlier versions. You probably won't get to see some of the shaders here, like the dielectric material and the Maya material X. Sorry, the DGS material, dielectric material, and so on. There are many shaders that nodes and shaders that not supposed to be here. Now this is because in Maya 2014, Autodesk just assigned them to new category. They named as legacy materials. So I created a special tutorial about this, and it's very short tutorial. It's 5 minutes, I think, and it's basically show you how to install a new mail script into Maya 2014. So all those nodes here will appear as they were in earlier versions of Maya. So I will add a link for this or any annotation for this, I don't know, I will see, and you can go and watch this tutorial just to make sure that we are on the same line here, okay. So after I right click and choose assign new material, I will choose Maya material X, okay, and then I will go over Maya material X, one tab, go over preset and choose Chrome and replace, okay. Now on my own tests, I did few tests. What I've done is I actually tried the Chrome material under the presets, and I also tried the copper, okay. The copper, if I will choose this from here, you see it becomes orange, like a copper should be. So what I've done is basically I've changed the colors into some white and gray, or just white, gray, I don't know, just white or gray. Just try to see what more fits you. So this is how I chose to create this silver material. Also, we have to assign this a name, a new name, okay, so let's call this silver, and whatever will be the case, try and test those. Try to test the chrome, try to test the copper, also try to test the satin metal, which can help you, okay, and you can also try DGS material on top of these. There are many materials that can give you kind of a metal look, okay, and it all depends on your light setups and stuff like that in order to achieve the right kind of look for your metal. You can also use texture, but right now we ain't gonna use texture. We are going to use those default kind of shaders we have, and that's all. Now I will also add to this button here the same material, so right click, assign existing material. Now why existing material? Because we are already created, so whatever shader you create, you will have them under assign existing material. Now we have silver here, so I will just right click and choose this silver to this button here. Then I want to pick all the interior parts, those here, right click, assign new material, okay, and for this one I'm going to choose the Maya blend material, okay, and from the color I will just change it to some kind of white vinyl kind of color, Also make sure that diffuse is a little bit down and the specular roll off. And one more thing I want to change there is the MI reflection blur. I want to bring this to 4 or 2. Okay, so now let's focus on our here, those parts, the glass parts, and let's choose both of them. Right click, assign new material, and from the mental ray let's choose dielectric material. Okay, and then the dielectric material should stay the same, you know, white and stuff like that, everything. Don't touch it, just don't touch it. Then grab this piece in the front, only this one, right click, choose edge. We will grab this edge, hold down the control, right click, edge ring utilities to edge ring and split. So this will give us a nice split line here. Then we will grab this edge, okay, only this one edge here, and press G to repeat the same last function, which was this control, right click, and edge ring utilities to edge ring and split. Okay, so grab this one now, G, and grab this one and G. So now we have basically created some kind of a frame here, okay, some kind of a space, so we can define it as a frame for this window here. So choose all those faces as I did, right click, assign new material, sorry, my material X, and change this tab and just make it black. Okay, that way you can lower down the reflectivity a little bit, the glossiness a little bit, but the overall look should be something like that. Okay, now for the more advanced part of this tutorial, it's not really hard, but you should have some kind of an idea what to do. So I also added you know, a picture of a control panel for a microwave. So we are going to use this. What I'm going to do first is basically I want to show you something before we can continue. Okay, I'm going to render here this part. Okay, so let's render only this part here. I'm clicking here. Okay, and if it will take a long time, so I will pause it. Okay, it's not in the usual settings. It's kind of funny. Okay, never mind. No, not now. Okay, never mind. We will deal with it later. Right click, choose faces. First press 1 so we can see this in non-smooth preview mode. Okay, and you see after we assign this shader, it's a little bit hard to see things through here. It's very bright. So I'm going to right click, choose assign favorite material or existing material, sorry, and choose the Lambert one. Okay, the Lambert one is a shader that you're not supposed to modify. Okay, you should keep it the same as it is through all your modeling and texturing and everything process you do. The Lambert one is the default shader, and just don't touch it. Okay, I'm just using it so I can see the faces right now. So I'm going to come over here, and I want to choose this face, and this face. Okay, go over polygons, mesh, and extract. Okay, so I extracted those. It's kind of weird. Yeah, okay, so I extracted those, and somehow I didn't choose the face here in between. So make sure you don't have any other face, and I'm going to undo whatever I just did and extract it all the way from the beginning. So undo, and then let's choose all of them and mesh extract. Okay, so Control Z to undo whatever you did, if you don't know already. Okay, so we picked this. Okay, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to right click, assign new material for it, and I'm going to choose Maya Blend material. And for this blend material, I will click on this checkered box here, assign to the color, click on it, choose file, and I will load up this file of my control panel. Okay, so click open, and at the first you will see this like this. It will look a little bit blurry and not really like you can see or understand something from it. So I want you to use the view cube here and choose the front view. Okay, so it will bring me the camera in front of this, and go over create UVs, automatic mapping, okay, or create UV based on camera. Okay, yeah, create UV based on camera. So now you can see the texture of this file of this picture on top of these faces, okay, this panel we just extracted. But the problem is that the picture is not like as we want this. We want to use this file picture in two different ways. We are going to use the swatch here to the top area, which will be this face here, okay, and only the control panel here, okay, for the lower part, which is this panel that we are right now modifying. So what you do, you go over create UVs, edit UVs, UV texture editor. Make sure you first select this panel, UV texture editor, and then you will get this window here. Okay, I'm just showing you the two different windows, and then right click here, choose UV, and just select mark all this area. So you will see that we have this kind of green vertices here. Those are not vertices, those are UVs, and these are basically the map coordinates to to tell Maya where what part of the texture, which is all this cube here, you want to be shown. Okay, but these are the UVs, okay, and these are basically the map of this particular object, which is the panel we just extracted. So what we want to do, we want to grab all the vertices, okay, that this panel is built from, and we want to use the scale tool, press R, the hotkey R, and then scale this so it will fit only this black panel area. You see? So I'm just using the move tool, same as in the work area, and scale tool, and I'm going to stretch this panel, you see, like that, so it will cover only these function buttons here. You see? So these are the borders of this UV mapping of this panel, and they are only containing this these buttons, except the watch and the other thing here. Okay, so after we done so, we can just bring this a little bit down and look at this over here. So you see it looks good and it fits to the panel right now, and this is how we want this to be. Okay, so now I will close this UV texture editor, press F8 once or twice to bring it back to object mode, and then I will choose this face here, right click on it. Okay, this is the inner face we just extracted at the earlier part, so we are going to assign favorite material Lambert to it. Okay, this one we added a Lambert, and this one we added a Blend. Now this is for a reason, you will see in a second why I did this. I'm going to modify this new Lambert. Okay, it's not Lambert 1, it's a new Lambert, which is Lambert 2. But first, something I forgot. Let's choose all the parts, everything here, go over edit, delete by type, and choose history. So now it will be easier for us to navigate in the attribute editor. So I chose this, and now I can see that in the other tabs here I have Lambert 2, which I just assigned. So I'm going to click on this checkered box here on the color swatch. Okay, click on it, choose file, and I'm going to load the same control panel. Okay, let's see where it is. Okay, and choose open. Now again, it doesn't look correct, so we need to modify it. So first of all, I'm going to bring this back, okay, just somewhere here so I can focus on that part. I'm going to use the front view that way and choose create UV and automatic mapping. Okay, now this time the automatic mapping somehow chose to project the texture on top of this face horizontally. Okay, it's not vertically as here. So we will need to rotate this time the UVs. Okay, we scaled them, we moved them, but we didn't rotate them, and we can also rotate them. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to switch over the UV texture editor. After this, this part has been selected, you go over Edit UVs, UV texture editor, and then right-click, choose UVs, select the UVs in all this area here, and you can see we have only 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is because this panel here is only with 4 vertices. Okay, so these are UVs again. So there are vertices. So what we are going to do, we are going to rotate this. I'm going to watch, half watch this and the window, and I'm going to sorry, we aren't gonna use this. We can rotate them, okay, that's okay, you see, but I don't want to use this, so I will undo whatever I did. I will use these two here. Okay, so I will use this click, and now I can see it's after 2 clicks it becomes like this. Okay, and if it's okay, we can now basically scale them and bring them to the watch, okay, over here. Now basically those two functions are rotating in this direction and rotating in the other direction, but it's making it in few, you see, default angles. So it's making sure that your rotation is basically aligned to the same 90 degrees, 180 degree, and so on. So I'm just trying to scale these UVs so they will fit here. I don't want to make this too big, and also maybe not that, yeah, something like that. Okay, so that's okay, and let's press F8 once or twice. Let's close this. Let's pick this plane here again. By the way, modify center pivot just to center the pivot for it. And now the reason why I chose to make this as a Lambert shader and this one as a Blinn shader is because I want to grab this and want to choose the Lambert material here. By the way, call it watch. Okay, let's name it as watch and press the enter. And if I'm going to bring the incandescence up, so look at the watch, it will look a little bit more glowing, and this is what I'm trying to achieve. Also the ambient color, we can bring it a little bit up and leave it like this. Okay, so let's just bring the incandescence down so you can see the differences. Okay, so it's becoming a little bit more glowing, and if after all you want to add some more glowing, you can come over the spatial effect and add just a minor, something like 0.030 amount of glowing. Okay, and now we can bring this back inside here. Okay, let's see, yeah, like this. By the way, don't be shy, use the snap function and stuff like this that I showed you in earlier parts of this tutorial. Also, this face here, we are going to right click, assign existing material. We didn't gave it a name, so basically this should be the dielectric material we just used on those two window parts, okay, of the door. So after we assign this material to it, press F to zoom on it. I'm going to bring this over here. Okay, that way. So now this we can smooth, and this, oh, we can't smooth this right now. Okay, so what happened after I extract also the panel, you see this area is not looking good. It's becoming, after we smooth this, it's just those lines here are not maintained. So I'm going to add, press 1 to exit the smooth preview, and I'm going to add a few more edge loops, which I must to add because there's no other way to escape this problem here. So let's add those, and let's add those. By the way, you can use the crease tool. The crease tool can make, you know, that way you won't need to add more edge loops. So I had 4 already. I'm going to add 1 more here. Sorry, and 1 more that way horizontally. I hate this word, horizontally. I don't know, it doesn't sound good, although the meaning is good. Okay, so let's press 3, and now it's smoothed and it looks good. Okay, now I'll also change the this microwave color back to the Lambert one. So I want to right click, choose assign existing material, and silver again. Okay, now we are going to bring this door without the surface, select them, and bring this back over here, and let me see. Okay, that way, but I need to bring this a little bit up because this way it will be match. Okay, and after we've done this, we can add a light. So create light and area light. Okay, now the area light it looks like this. Okay, and you have a pointy thing here. I will just bring it up so you can see it, and this pointy thing shows the direction of the light. Now if I will press the T letter on my keyboard, I will get another gizmo. This gizmo here is basically the target of the light direction. Okay, so you can modify the light direction to here to point to this microwave, and then you can just bring this light and it will always follow the same direction. But again, if you want to apply the T, okay, you know, if I will just use the move tool on this, so it won't, you see, it's not following the same direction. It's just remain the same direction. But you have to apply the T in order to have this gizmo there and to make the light follow it, you see? Okay, so I'm going to put this over here, that way, and just scale it a bit because aerial lights are very much influenced by the size of the area light. Okay, so let's create a first render and let's see what we get. We came up with. So I basically want to make just a little minor change in my render view. I tweaked something here, I changed something, so I want to bring it back. You see here the option test resolution. I can choose to use the render setting here, but I chose to use it at 50% just to see it, you know, to make it render quickly. So render setting, and this now will follow whatever I just put in the command here. Okay, so now let's take a render and see what we came up with. I'm not sure what material right now I used. I think it was the copper, which I modified to be from orange to white and gray, so this is why it looks like this. Also, I may want to add different HDR studio just to bring more kind of reflection on top of this material. But I think the overall looks okay. Just let it finish so we can see the control panel also, and the watch, of course. Alright, so it does look good right now. And again, just test those shaders that I showed you earlier. You get different results, and probably one of them will fit you better. Okay, so that looks great for now. The only thing I want to add and close this part of the tutorial is go over the polygon cylinder, create a polygon cylinder, okay, and bring this up, right click, choose vertices, grab all those vertices here, and scale all them together at once using the middle cube here, and bring this a little bit up like so, and press F8 to bring it back to object mode. Let's go over modify, center the pivot, okay, and then let's scale this a little down some more. That way, hold on the shift, right click, insert edge loop. We will add one edge loop here and one edge loop here, and then right click, choose vertices, switch to selection tool, grab this vertex here and the middle vertex down here, and hold on the shift, right click, chamfer vertex. So now we can add two more edge loops. Shift right click, insert edge loop, one here, and press F8 to focus on this object, and one here, and maybe one here. Okay, F8 to bring it back to object mode, right click, assign new material. We will choose Maya material Blend and change it to black. Okay, and we can lower down the I just wanna come over the mental ray and make sure that the Maya reflection blur is on 4. Okay, and then you can maybe lower down the specular a little bit and the specular roll off. Okay, now press 3 to smooth it. Okay, so let's smooth this so it will look smooth. That way we can bring this over the microwave and down the microwave, so it will be a leg here. Okay, now it's very big, so I'm going to scale this down and just use the 4 view now. Okay, so this is the 4 view again. Now we will use the side view and make sure it's somewhere 1 is here. Okay, now here you need to do it very smart. You need to think of what you have here. Here at the right side of the our microwave, we have this panel here, which is a little bit, give you more space that you can put a leg there. Okay, but you can't put a leg on top of the door. So just make sure you have one here at the very front. Okay. And then, wait a second. Okay, so I had another little interfering here, but let's finish this. So basically I modify it, adjust it to here, but I do want to right click on top of it and just choose those vertices down at this cylinder and make it a little bit more high, and then press F8 to bring it back to object mode, and let's duplicate this over here. Okay, now you can maybe bring this over here, okay, just after the door, okay, area, but it's really your own decision. Just make sure you do what you need to do, and after that, grab them two and duplicate them to the other side. Okay, now I'm following the front view. Sorry, my cats here are... Okay, so bring this here, and that's all. Okay, it's time to wrap this part. I have a lot of things going on around here, so I think this is enough. Let's just bring this to the perspective view, and don't forget to save this. Okay, so see you at the next part, and hopefully we will finish this. Bye and good day.